Hi guys, Dr. B here. So today we're going to do a quick demonstration on pH. pH stands for potential of hydrogen, and it indicates whether or not something is acidic or basic or neutral. And what we're going to use is something called red cabbage. So when you see it at the store, it's purple, but it's called red cabbage. And I'm going to use this bottle right here. This bottle is red cabbage juice, or red cabbage and water. It's not Fabuloso, so make sure you don't try it with your Fabuloso at home, okay? So, what we're gonna do is, this is gonna change color based on what it comes in contact with. And you're gonna see that if something's acidic, it's gonna go towards a certain color. If it's basic, it's gonna go towards another color. So let's see what happens. So I'm gonna test the pH of vinegar, lemon juice, Dasani water, Evian, a basic or alkaline water, baking soda, and OxyClean. So we're gonna see what colors these change into. You can see the red cabbage juice water in the back over there. So while you're watching this video, I want you to think about a couple of things in terms of an experiment. One of the major topics is the idea of variables. So looking at this video, in the back of your mind, maybe I might ask you also in person, what are my control variables, what are my independent variables, and what is my dependent variable? So think about those as you watch the rest of this video. So the first one we're going to test is OxyClean, okay? So let's see what we get. So it's purple with just the red cabbage juice, but I add some OxyClean, and now it turns kind of green, okay? So I will tell you that going towards blue or green, it's gonna be basic. So that means that OxyClean is over here on the basic side. Okay, so close that up. Let's try So the next one we're going to test is lemon juice. So by your own experience, you know that lemon juice is acidic. So we're going to see what color it turns. Still purple, nothing in it. I'm going to add some lemon juice. And now you can see that by adding lemon juice, it turns pinkish. So the pinker you go, redder you go, that is going to be towards the acidic side. So lemon juice is acidic. Now, let's try vinegar. Vinegar is over here. So, again, still purple. So again, turns pink, turns reddish. So that means that vinegar, or acetic acid, is an acid. So go figure. Just put it around here, it's fine. Alrighty, so now let's do baking soda. It's over here. So I'm going to scoop some baking soda in the spoon. I'm going to see what happens to this. So you can see that it turns bluish. So that means that it is going towards the basic side. So this one is baking soda. Somewhere along here. So now, here's a real test, if you will. I want to see if waters have different pHs. We know that a neutral pH of 7 is water. So let's see what happens. So this is natural spring water over here. I want to see if anything happens to this. So it gets a little bit lighter. So that means that the spring water is somewhere between neutral and slightly acidic. So I'm just going to put it right around here. So spring water. So this is, over here, this is alkaline water. So they talk about how alkaline water is different than regular water, It says here that it has a pH of 9 to 10, so that means it should be basic. So let's see if it actually turns a little bit blue and not red or anything like that. So it's maybe slightly blue, not really too much of a change. Maybe stirring up will change it up, we'll see. Not really too much change, but you can say that it is slightly, it's around this area. So let's say alkaline water is right around here. Maybe it's not too basic, if you will. You can see that. So next is Dasani Water. Okay, so some of you may hear some things about this in terms of whether it's bad for you, good for you, etc. And I'll tell you that when I opened it this morning, I should have recorded it, but it had a slight fizz like soda, and even some gas came out of it. You can see it. So shouldn't make a noise like that because it's non-carbonated, but it made a carbonated soda sound. So we'll see what happens. We'll see if there's anything wrong with it, if you will. Not too much of a change. It's a little purplish still, so again, it's still somewhere around here. So there's not too much of a change in the pH for these, change in color for these different waters. Maybe because they've been sitting in my classroom for a week, that could be part of it, but shouldn't change that much. So I guess looking at this, I want you guys to not necessarily know the pHs per se, but the general trends, or what is kind of found there. So vinegar, acetic acid, so it's an acid, lemon juice, stomach acid is also here as well, battery acid, neutral is water, or distilled water if you will. Basic side, that is bleach, OxyClean, baking soda, different things like that. So here are the different colors that we got. Actually, the OxyClean turned kind of yellowish, so that means it's really basic. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you. So kind of a Marvel MCU end credit scene. I want to see what happens really quick when you mix an acid and a base and see what happens with the color. So I'm going to take the lemon juice and I'm going to take the baking soda. Let's see what color it makes. So you see that it actually kind of turned purple, so that means that the pH kind of went back to normal. So that's kind of how something called an antacid works. If you will, it's anti-acid. So if you have something called GERD or acid reflux, you can take an antacid like Tums, and that can actually neutralize the acid in your stomach that you are producing too much of, going back towards a normal or a neutral pH. So I hope you learned something with that little end credit scene. All right, guys, take care.